Hola, clase de español 3. Ya es tiempo de hacer el capítulo 1.2. Time for second week, chapter 1.2. Nice to see you all. Hopefully, you're watching with your family, so everyone's watching in Spanish, right? So, if that's not the case, that's fine too. Had a lot of people ask last week about the extra credit. I want you to know that it's not a norm that we're always having extra credit in every single chapter. Um, I am going to put one somewhere in this video, so don't worry, we are doing that this week. But just I'd like you to watch for enrichment and to help you if you're missing anything or if you need to hear a pronunciation of something again or something along those lines. But I just want you to understand that it's not always extra credit all the time. So that you're, sort of emotionally prepared for that. Anyways, hope everyone's doing very well. I'd like to go ahead and just jump right into our video. Um, for this week, it's really a detail-oriented vocabulary, or not vocabulary, but grammar lesson for this week. We're going to be doing some differences between saber and conocer. I believe this should be review for many of you. Uh, Knowing facts versus facts and information versus being familiar with people and places. That's what the essence of saber versus conocer really are. We'll discuss those a lot more detail in class, but we'll intro it here and show you a few quick things. Also talk about the details of the words and or in Spanish. As most of you are aware, the word or is o and the word and is e. Um, but their pronunciation changes so that we don't have similar like sounds abutting one another within words in Spanish. So we're going to talk about that small detail and how that changes too. And then a much smaller amount of vocabulary for this week too. Hopefully a little lighter load for this week. And let's go ahead and jump into it right now. So grammar first. These are the same slides that you're going to see during class, and we should be in pretty good shape. I just need to. Here we go. Okay, saber versus conocer. I'm just going to kind of read along, and if I have anything extra to throw at you, I will. Okay, so both saber and conocer, if you're just translating it out loud into English, mean to know. So conocer means to know. Saber means to know. It's the connotations and the small differences for when to use each one that we're delving into a little bit further. So conocer means to know, meet, or see someone for the first time, or be familiar with a person or place. I'm realizing right now that this screen might be a little, I might have to move it over here. There we go. Hopefully you can still see that. Be familiar with a person or place. That's where that is. Remember to use the personal I when you're referring to a person. So if you know someone, you might say, I know Mr. Newman. Is Yo conozco al señor Newman. I use the A plus L together in there. So that's conocer, knowing people, being familiar with people. If you meet someone for the first time, you'll be using conocer when you do that as well. So saber, a little bit differently, means to know a fact or information about something or someone. It also means to know how to do something when used with an infinitive. So if you say, yo sé, yo sé cómo construir un edificio. I know how to construct a building, okay? Kind of a grand example, but that shows how to do something. That's understanding processes and information. It's different with familiarity. So if you had to boil it down into two essential differences, saber is more about facts and information, and conocer has more to do with familiarity with people and places. And of course, we have a few examples of those here too. Just conjugate or translating these into English real quick. For the conocer usage, we have ¿Dónde conociste a tu amigo de Nueva York? All right. So when did you meet your friend from New York? Is the translation there. Conoces las playas de Galicia, which generally translated as do you know the beaches of Galicia? But you're really saying, are you familiar with them? Have you gone to them? Do you know about them? Okay. So that's what that refers to. Now, down here, uses of the verb conocer. Quiero saber más de ti. I want to know a little bit more about you. What they're saying is I want to know more facts and information about you. Okay. Obviously, there's a little bit of crossover because when you do that, when you gain more familiarity with some person, and that crosses over into the realm of conocer. That's not where we are with this sentence, okay? Just want to know, it's like if someone were doing an interview, okay? Amparo, that's the name of a person. Amparo sabe hablar francés. Amparo knows how to speak French. Now, the word how isn't in there, but it's sort of understood and hinted at. Okay, so Amparo knows, that's conjugation of saber. Hablar is to speak French. So if you had to do it literally, it's Amparo knows to speak French. But in this connotation, it's how to speak French. So hopefully that is fairly clear for you. Moving on. The words and or. In Spanish, o, which means or, changes to an u before a word that has the same sound. So obviously, since H's don't get pronounced in Spanish, these both are pronounced o, okay? So when you have an o here and the beginning of another word, you can't differentiate the word or from the next word that's going to come afterward. Consequently, we change its spelling to u. Example, el viaje a La Coruña es de 7 u 8 horas. All right, so they're trying to say that the trip to Coruña is 7 or 8 hours. 7 or 8 hours. Now, if I left it spelled as its original O, it would sound like this. El viaje a La Coruña es de 7 o 8 horas. 7, 8 hours. And you can't really hear the and in there. So that differentiation occurs only in situations like that. You'll see more examples this week. In the same way, E, the letter Y, and changes to an E before a word that begins again with E or E. For example, Sergio e Hilaria van a bucear. It's not Sergio y Hilaria because you can't differentiate the E from the E when that happens, the and from Hilaria. So that's why we change that spelling, Sergio e Hilaria, and now we get that. We don't get what's referred to as when two vowels are together that make the exact same sound, sometimes referred to as a diphthong. Kind of a fun word to learn, grammatically speaking. So we avoid that when we do these spelling changes. I'm going to practice them a lot more in class. Let me show you your vocabulary real quick. And that is going to be located here. And here we go. So, Español 3, 1.2, describing yourself and others. And we're just going to go through each one. Because there's not as much this time, I'll give you the meanings as well. All right. So, first one, abierto means open. Alto is tall. La barba is a beard, as in like the barber shop where one would get a shave or something like that. El bigote is a mustache. Bigote. We're going to have to talk a little bit about some of the cognates in this class too, because some of these are great cognates. Just don't have time to discuss them all with you right now. Next one, buena gente. The literal translation is good people. Like if you're going to say, es buena gente, he's good people. You've probably heard, or at least your parents have heard this expression before. It just means that he's a nice person. They're not really talking about multiple people. Even though gente means people, they're talking about just one person at a time. So if you are talking about some guy or some gal and you say, sí es buena gente, you're saying, yeah, they're a good person. There's a few other ones like that coming up. De estatura mediana is average height. Estatura, height, mediana, average. Fenomenal, phenomenal, obviously, or just great. Las gafas are glasses. Una gran persona is a great person. So, ella es una gran persona. She's a great person. Or, él es un gran persona. Okay? And that's an interesting one because persona can be both masculine and feminine depending on how you use it. So, just a little note there. This next one is great. Un gran tipo is a great guy. And the word tipo, in this case, translates to the word guy. Its actual literal translation is type. A grand type. Weird. But tipo and even the word tío, which usually means uncle in Spain, both translate to the word guy. Kind of weird like that. So anyways, un gran tipo, a great guy. Guapo, good looking. Llevar gafas, to wear glasses. Gafas are the word for glasses. Majo, this is another country-specific word. Majo is used primarily in Spain, and it's just a way to say that someone is nice. So if él es majo or ella es maja, you're saying he's nice or she's nice. Pretty simple. Okay. Moreno means dark-haired. No hay quien lo aguante. No hay quien lo aguante is kind of a weird one. It's more of a put down. And the translation part of it and the literal we'll go over in class, but it generally means that no one can stand him. Okay, no one can stand him or no one can stand her if it's no hay quien la aguante. So we'll come back to that one later. Pelirrojo means red-headed or red-haired. Pesado means annoying. You say, ay, que pesado. How annoying, okay? Rizado is curly or wavy-haired. Serio is serious. This is kind of a long phrase here for just considering its vocabulary, but it translates to tener un buen sentido de humor, to have a good sense of humor. Sentido, sense, del humor, of humor. Un tío estupendo, a great guy. Again, this is another one where the word tío is supposed to mean uncle, like tío and tía are aunt and uncle. But when used in this sense, it's like saying when you say tío, it's referring to guy. There's this expression in Spain where they'll say, you know, what's up, guy, or what's up, dude, and what they're trying, what they end up saying is, ¿qué pasa, tío? What's happening, uncle? I know that's a weird translation, but that's how it functions, and it's very prevalent and popular. So there it is. Probably waiting for a little bit of extra credit, and if you just scrubbed your bar all the way to the very end, shame on you. Giving it to you anyways, though. I would like for you, last time I had you write a whole bunch of sentences. This time it's only 5, okay? 5 total, not 5 of each kind. And in your 5 sentences, I would like for you to, in at least 2 of them, to use alternate spellings of the word and or, and underline it for me so I can quickly find it. So again, of your 5 sentences, 2 of them have to use alternate spellings of the word and or. In your remaining 3 sentences, I would like for you to use correct usages of the verbs conocer or saber. I don't care if all of 3 are conocer or all 3 are saber, or you go 1 of one and 2 of the other, vice versa. Those are all fine, but they must be properly used, not just conjugated right, not just conjugated correctly, but actually make sense. Like your usage of conocer has to do with knowing a person or a place, having familiarity, as opposed to saber, which is knowing pieces of information or facts. So that's what I'll be looking for. 5 sentences total. Again, 2 of them have to use alternate spellings of and or, and 3 of them have to use conjugations of conocer or saber, or any combination thereof, correctly applied. Hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me on Monday. I'll be accepting these on Monday, and I hope that you guys are learning a lot. I know the first couple weeks were kind of heady, kind of, I think, pretty difficult material, and even some of the listening comprehension activities we did were a little bit difficult for you too. You're all keeping up great. Keep your heads high. Keep working hard. Great things are going to happen. Hasta luego. Ciao. Adios. And we will see you guys next time.